Like I said, if you are in dev, this video is one of the most important that I could share with you for your interpersonal skills working with stakeholders and team members and all that, right? So,
what is the most honest estimate you can make? Exactly the right words. I don't know.
I want to figure out how I can use Amazon Fargate, AWS Fargate, especially using a image that I have stored in the Amazon registry, right? I think what is it, ECR Amazon Container Registry, something like that, right? So yeah, we're gonna try that out and all that good stuff, right? But first, before we do that, we are going to. So this is the plan for tonight, right? We're gonna review a video, right? A short video, 5 minutes, about honest estimation, right? And this is very, very, very important if you're in tech, if you're a developer, if you're a QA, if you are whatever it is, like if you're DevOps, a web designer, whatever you are in tech, right? In like the development side of it, especially about honest estimations. Then we're going to do some our work on our Amazon Fargate, and then we will take a break. And then once we take the break, we're going to during the break we're going to be reviewing a video that I saw this morning that I thought would be extremely, extremely helpful to us all. It's about, I forgot his name, right? I think so. The YouTube channel name is Calculus Coder, right? And I'll put the link in the chat to the video after when we get to reviewing it. But it was talking about his experience being self-taught and doing a boot camp for software engineering. And I just found it fascinating, and I definitely want to review it with you all. So and then we're gonna finish up with the Fargate, see how as far as we can get, and then we'll call it a night, and we'll do all of our goodbyes and all that good stuff. All right. So with that being said, let's go from here. So I'm gonna go and we're gonna go and talk. We're gonna watch this video together, and I might pause it throughout to add some feedback, but it is extremely important that, like I said, if you are in dev, this video is one of the most important that I could share with you for your interpersonal skills working with stakeholders and team members and all that, right? So let's get to it. All right. So this presentation is by Uncle Bob, Robert C. Martin. It's based he talks about it in his book, The Clean Coder, right? He probably talks about it in other places as well, but he talks about it in The Clean Coder. And I'll put this link in the chat in the description as well, so you can follow along. But let's go and give it a watch.
I expect honest estimates. What is the most honest estimate you can make? Exactly the right words. I don't know. The most honest estimate is I don't know, because the answer is you don't know. How long is it going to take me to do this thing? I don't know. But you do have a little bit more information than that. See, there's two components to an estimate. There's the accuracy and the precision. Now, the I don't know is the right precision. It's just that you haven't been very accurate. So give me some kind of number, right? Like, how long is it going to take you? Well, I think Friday seems like a good number. Here's what I really want. I want 3 numbers. I want the best.
So how many people have been asked to give an estimate, right? And here's the problem, right? Especially in tech. If you ask a lawyer, right? He speaks about this in his book, right? If you ask a lawyer, oh, I need an estimate on this, and they're going to tell you, oh, this is what it is. And then you just accept it, right? You don't push back. You don't do anything. You just accept it, right? But when it comes to people in tech and you're like, oh, give me a number, and you say, all right, it's going to be 3 weeks, right? And now they want to negotiate with you. And they're like, well, can you do it in 1.5? And you're like, no. What do you say? Well, what do you say when they say that, right? You say, it's going to be 3 weeks. And they say, well, can you do it in 1.5, right? And now you start like, I don't like to be in that position, right? Because I'm like, well, I gave you a number, and now you're like trying to cut it in half, So, and he's going to talk about it, but we have the tendency of folding and compromising because We just don't like to be in that type of in those positions, right? We don't like to be in that position. So that's what we end up in, right? So let's continue a bit.
Best case, the expected case, and the worst case.
You wind it a little bit.
It seems like a good number. Here's what I really want. I want 3 numbers. I want the best case, the expected case, and the worst case. I want you to say, well, if everything goes right, and I mean everything, then I might be able to get it done by Wednesday. But things don't usually go right, so probably Friday. But if all hell breaks loose, probably next Friday.
So with that, right, how many times have you found yourself giving an estimate, but it's like because you know that they're trying to pressure you, so you only give the best case scenario, right? So you're like, oh, I can get it done within a week, right? And they still might try to push you to get it done within like half a week, right? But you're like, I can get it done within a week. But you know that it's if every single thing goes right, and then as soon as you start, you find a problem that takes you like out of the week you estimated, out of 7 days, it took you like 6 days to fix it, and now you're like way behind. You're like, I don't know how I'm going to deliver this, right? So now, do you work longer hours, work late to meet your delivery, or do you just like do you say, oh, I'm sorry, I know I said it was going to be a week, but it's actually going to be a week and a half or 2 weeks or something like that, right? Like, what is it that? How do you handle that? Like once you find that showstopper, something that blocks you, because you don't know what you don't know, right? So now you're giving this estimate and you pretty much get stuck, right? And now your estimation is totally blown away because you didn't know something, and now your word is out there. So what do you do, right? So let's continue following along.
Now that's a very honest answer. It's honest both in accuracy and precision. You've given both the expected time, but the boundaries on your lack of knowledge, on your indecision. It's wise to provide that kind of information. And how many of you have done this ever and then had the response, well, that's not good enough. We need to know. You say, I'm sorry you need to know, but that's the best I've got. Well, you got to do better than that. You can't do better than that. Well, there's got to be some way you can improve your estimate. No, there isn't. Oh, come on, you're not being a team player. Actually, I am. I'm giving you the best information I have right now. You're the manager, manage. Right? And then here comes the word, well, will you at least try?
So I think I was muted for the last part, but what I was pretty much saying is like, they'll come to you, right? So here's my scenario, right? What I was saying is that they'll come to, for instance, Socks, right? And they'll say, Socks, how long will it take for you to build out this infrastructure? And Socks says, it'll take me 3 weeks, right? And he'll say it takes 3 weeks, and then they say, oh, that's not good enough. I need it, and I already told the client it's going to be a week and a half, so I need you to do it in a week and a half. And Socks is like, well, why are you asking me? Like, if you already made the commitment, like, well, why didn't you just come and tell me what I was going to do? So now, while Socks has to burn the midnight oil, trying to get this thing done ready for the client that he never agreed to, right? The person who's managing the project, they are, living their best life, hanging out with their family, playing golf and stuff like that. And you have total burnout because you are doing something that you never agreed to, and that really pisses you off, right? So that's what I was pretty much saying, right? So that's what we're getting into right now.
Careful. Use the word. Right? And then here comes the word, well, will you at least try? Careful. It'd be very tempting right now to say, yes, I'll try.
If you enjoyed the fascinating information shared in this video and you want more, be sure to hit the subscribe button to Tech Coach Ralph to be notified for new videos.